Hey everyone, welcome back to our wonderful adventures of Sophie and Darius in Smoldering Hunger. So, there was a discussion that I ended up having with one of my friends, and we were talking about genetics. So, clearly, Darius is a dragon that shapeshifts into a human. Sophie's human. So, does that mean his DNA is dragon? His chromosomes are dragon? How would that even work? It's two species having sex, making babies. Is it even plausible? Like, would the kid be half dragon, like a demigod? Is there something to think about? I mean, I don't know the mechanics. I'm sure the author's answer will be, oh, it's magic. But what do we know, right? Anyway, I'm going to read chapter 17, summarize 18. I think I'm going to read the rest of the book and just summarize it for you guys and maybe read the more interesting tidbits because, seriously, who cares? Plus, I have like another book lined up that seems even better and funnier to read. I kind of want to get to that. So, chapter 17. Darius wanted to get out and track down Ulrich himself, but he also wanted to remain beside Sophie. He wasn't sure which one would be the best alternative to end the current situation. Ulrich wouldn't fight him. Not really. Ulrich wanted Khan, but along the way he would hurt as many Dragon Kings as he could, as well as anyone connected to them. Darius looked at Sophie sitting on the couch surfing the telly. She looked bored. How many times had she checked the clock in the last half hour? At least a dozen times, if not more. I hate days off, she said. Darius pushed away from leaning against the wall near her window so he could look out without being seen. We all need them. Not me. She turned off the TV and tossed the remote onto her coffee table. I have to be occupied or I go a little daft. How much do you work? He asked. She shrugged and turned so that she was leaning her arm against the back of the couch to look at him. I work all of my shifts. Which one? Which are 12 to 14 hours, then I pick up others when I can. Every couple of months I'm forced to take a few days off because apparently it's not normal for a person to work several weeks in a row without a day off. That's not normal. You can burn yourself out and you can be dangerous to your patients. Just saying. Darius walked to the couch and sat on the opposite end. Sophie turned with him, her expression telling him she was waiting for him to say something. He considered for a moment. All you want to do is work? It fills the time better than watching a movie. That's not true. There's some really good movies out there. When was the last time you watched a movie? Darius himself might have only caught one or two since he walked from his mountain, but he enjoyed them. Sophie looked at the ceiling and bit her lip. Then she said, I know it's been 4, possibly 5 years. Darius was shocked. Wasn't that abnormal for a human? Sure, some liked more leisure time than others, but to want none? There had to be a reason for that. I like the movies. I go all the time. Life blows, but that still doesn't mean you can't enjoy the little things. Shoot. I've astounded you, Sophie said with a laugh. Darius rested his arm on the back of the sofa, bringing his fingers close to touching her. That you have. So tell me something about you, since we're sharing. Darius wasn't finished discussing her need to work every hour of every day. He wouldn't give up easily on it. She would find that out quickly enough. What you see is what you get, she barked with a laughter. I highly doubt that. You didn't tell me anything I couldn't find out from someone at the hospital. She narrowed her gaze teasingly before she smiled. All right, I hate downtime of any kind. I don't exactly have insomnia, but I can only sleep for about 4 hours before I'm wide awake. That's a problem. I, I love sleep. I'm very upset when I don't get sleep. 4 hours? You slept last night, he told her with a grin. Sophie glanced away as she smiled. That's because someone exhausted me. Perhaps that's what you need every night. I might never want to leave the bed. Darius didn't think that would be a bad thing. In fact, the idea of having her in his bed every day appealed to him so much more than he was comfortable with. I'm still waiting to hear something about you, she said. He rubbed his jaw. What did he tell her? What could he tell her? Oh, come on. There has to be something, she teased. Darius shook his head. I love thunderstorms. I feel free when they come. Or used to. Even that had been curbed recently. I love thunderstorms too. I like watching the lightning. Thunderstorms, huh? She said, looking at him with interest. I can see that. There was a knock on her door that had Darius on his feet in a second. Sophie stood and put her hand out to halt him. It's all right. It's my friend Claire. She always stops by on my days off. He jumped to his feet and hurried around the sofa. Don't tell her I'm here. What? She said in a hoarse whisper. Darius looked pointedly at the window. You're being watched. No one knows I'm here. Right, she said, worry filling her gaze. Darius walked to the bedroom closet and pulled the door closed behind him. Does she have a studio apartment? The impression I got was that she had an apartment, bedroom, kitchen, living room. He left it open just enough that he could see out. Sophie watched the door to her closet close before she opened the door. You are here, Claire said in surprise. I thought you might be out, but I thought I'd drop by anyway. That's what phones are for, Claire. Sophie moved aside to let Claire in. Nope, I'm here. I'm always here. Why would you think I'd be out? Because I met him, and let me tell you, Soph, he's gorgeous. Sophie pulled her gaze from her bedroom, her stomach falling to her feet. She knew Claire wasn't referring to Darius. She prayed it wasn't Ulrich. Met who? Seriously? Claire asked as she barked with laughter. You're going to play that card? The guy who's been wearing you out with that great sex you've been having. Sophie's stomach clutched painfully. Oh, God. Oh, no. When? This morning. What did he look like? She asked hurriedly. Claire rolled her eyes. Girl, please. He's the drop-dead gorgeous guy who wears a suit better than a GQ model, with that long black hair and those gold eyes. Yum is all I can say. You couldn't have picked a better-looking guy. Actually, she could have. Darius. But Sophie didn't say that. She didn't want to alert Claire that she had just described Ulrich in case it put her friend in danger. Not telling her, is definitely going to put her in danger. Do you have anything to say? Claire asked suspiciously. Or are you angry at him for not remembering it was your day off? Shit, the situation just kept getting worse. I'm not angry. Sophie hated lying to Claire and would tell her everything once Ulrich was out of her life. Until then, she would lie as much as she had to for Claire's sake. Claire nodded with a knowing smile. You're going to make him pay for forgetting, aren't you? I'm also surprised he's not here. Do you all have plans for tonight? We play it by ear. That can be good, Claire said as she began to gather her things. I know you guys keep at arm's length, Soph, but it's good to see you getting out there again. It's been years. She said the last word in a whisper as if it were some great secret. Sophie fought to keep her smile in place. Claire knew the reason, but her friend had still constantly pushed her to forget the past. It was a past that had shaped Sophie into who she is now. It wasn't simply to be forgotten like last week's lasagna. Your past does shape you. It really does. It makes you scared. It makes you worried. It doesn't allow you to trust as easily, but you shouldn't think of it as a negative. Your past makes you who you are, and honestly, I wouldn't change anything in my past. Yeah, it sucked, but here we are. You're going to end it. Claire rolled her eyes, her lips pinched together. Why? It might actually go somewhere. You just can't let go of the past and what you just can't let go of the past and what that peg did to you. Sophie often wondered how quickly Claire's mind could jump from one thought to another, but it was the perfect solution. Yeah, I am. He's not right for me. Okay. First delay you've had in years. Claire looked at her up and down, her hand on her hip. I know you all too well, Soph. You'll send him packing before there's even a chance you might have feelings for him. Sophie shrugged, not sure what to say. She wanted Ulrich to stay away from Claire. Sophie wondered if it would be better to tell Claire he was dangerous. But then if Ulrich returned to the hospital, Claire might act differently and alert Ulrich. Oh, God, why do they keep repeating his name? More importantly, it might draw Ulrich's attention to her. And if Ulrich was as threatening as Darius said, then that's the last thing Sophie wanted to do was have to her bed. Claire looked away, her eyes bright with tears. I worry about you, you know. You've no idea the men that look at you when you walk down the halls of the hospital. You could have any one of them, and you can't get a guy who isn't scum to look my way. Men are waiting for you to pay them at least a bit of attention. You're going to find a guy, Claire. I know it. You're too special not to have someone to spend your life with. I know. Claire wiped her eyes and faced her once more, a bright smile in place. Oh, I feel so bad for Claire. I understand, girl. Sophie walked to her friend and hugged her. You've been a true friend. Claire pulled back and looked at her with a deep frown that marred her forehead. What's going on, Soph? Nothing, she said, but that's not true. There was something big, and Sophie couldn't stand to have her friend hurt. Tell me, now, Claire demanded. She put her hands on her hips. I've never seen you so unsettled. It's like you're waiting for something bad to happen. Sophie licked her lips and glanced at her closet door. Claire, the man I've been seeing isn't who came to the hospital today. What? Claire's eyes were wide. Look, I don't want to scare you, but the man who came to the hospital is dangerous. He's... What did she say? She wasn't even sure what he was involved in, so she didn't know what to tell Claire. The mob? Claire asked. It sounded good, and that was enough fear in Claire's voice that Sophie nodded. Yes, he wants me to do something, but I'm not interested. Shit, Claire said and covered her mouth with her hand. I told him it was your day off. Sophie closed her eyes briefly. Ulrich had men watching her flat anyway. It doesn't matter. Just steer clear of him if you see him. Perhaps we should go to the police. He's not done anything yet. I don't want him alerted that you know who he is, Sophie said. Claire nodded numbly. Yeah, okay. It's important, Claire. Keep away from him. But if he seeks you out, put in one of those spectacular performances of yours and get away from him as fast as you can and as quickly as possible. What the hell did you get involved yourself with, Sophie? She shrugged, shaking her head. I don't know. How did you get involved with this jerk? He just found me. I'm separating myself without getting on his bad side. Claire wrapped her arms around herself. That's a good idea. Want me to stay here tonight? Thanks, but I'll be all right. He won't come here. At least she hoped he wouldn't. And if he did, Darius was there. I think I'm going to go home then. She gave Sophie a quick hug. I'll call later. If you don't pick up, I'm calling the authorities. Sophie smiled, loving Claire even more. Yes, ma'am. That's right, Claire said with a wink. She grabbed her purse and waved as she exited the flat. You realize there's a continuity error here? Like, we didn't realize she put something down. Then she started gathering her things. And then at some point she put them down. And now she's just picking up her purse and leaving. There's no, like, continuity there. There's no... I don't know. My brain hurts. Sophie locked the door and behind her and put her forehead against the wood. Ulrich knows I'm here. Sophie whirled around at the sound of Darius's voice. She hadn't heard him leave her closet, so to find him behind her was startling. How do you know? He went to the hospital. Claire spoke of your lover. Ulrich played along to get information. She rubbed her eyes, suddenly very weary. Will he hurt Claire? Most likely not. He's after me through you. So what now? What do I do? You do nothing. I'm going after Ulrich. Sophie put her hand on his chest to stop him as she looked into his chocolate eyes. Why? He ran a finger along her cheek to her jaw. The revenge Ulrich seeks does not involve you. It never involved you. I'm going to make sure it stays that way. Will I see you again? He hesitated, which was answer enough. Sophie was angry at herself for even asking. She didn't get attached. She shouldn't get attached. But it was already too late. His arms wrapped around her. Yes, he said. With his dark gaze holding hers, he slowly lowered his head and kissed her. Sophie sank into the kiss, the slow, mesmerizing, skillful kiss that made her forget everything. When he ended it, she kept her eyes closed. When he placed a soft kiss on her forehead, she squeezed them tight. She didn't open them until the door closed behind him. Sophie looked around her flat. She hadn't realized how quiet it was until Darius was gone. The morning hadn't been unbearable. She had been restless because he was near and she wanted him back in her bed with her. I understand that too. She let him think it was because she was bored since she hadn't been able to handle the truth. Now that she was once more alone, she remembered how much she hated days off. Sophie walked to the couch and plopped down. She turned on the telly and sat back to watch a movie and pretended that she wasn't already missing Darius. Alright. So, that was chapter 17. I got nothing to add. Chapter 18 starts off with Darius contacting Khan, the King of Kings. Khan's being a jackass about Darius being involved in a relationship with a human. And then, let's see. Darius reassures Khan that Sophie doesn't know anything. And then, what happens? Khan just says, hey, just be careful, I guess, but in a more asshole way. I would read it to you guys, but it's just so stupid. Then Darius wanders around and lets Ulrich find him. And when Ulrich finds him, they have this really cryptic conversation about how, if Khan really wanted Ulrich dead, he would have killed him already, and that Khan doesn't like to be questioned, and if he is questioned, they send the people who are questioning him off to sleep, and that there's an ulterior motive, and that there's another game being played. Things we don't care about, things that probably won't get addressed in this book anyway. So, there you have it, chapter 17 and 18. I would have just done chapter 19 as well, but anyway, I am looking forward to the next book. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to try to finish this up as quickly as possible so I can just give you guys a quick summary, and then we can get into a much shorter, more, well, I mean, it is interesting, but it's not interesting. It's just really silly. But it's worth the read, worth getting into. I don't know. We will explore the genres together. Anyway, have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.